Okay, so I've been sent a link for the latest Supreme Ultra version 1. Now, unfortunately, I can't share it because it's still in testing phase at the moment, but it is very impressive, and especially Sega Saturn. The 2D side of Sega Saturn has been really improved. 3D is not so good, but 2D is very good. But I'll go through a list of the various things that I've been told have changed. So the size of this build is 27.7 gig. People keep asking when this is going to be out. Now, I was told that it's more than likely going to be out in December. They're waiting for some Vulkan drivers, although there already is some Vulkan support in this. But when the Vulkan drivers come through, they're going to test them, and then this should be the build that's released, but with those Vulkan drivers, with that much better support. So there's 3 front ends. There's a tracked emulation station and Pegasus. A bit of variety there on the front end, so how you interface with this. There's full USB boot support. There's a new sound script installed for more control of it. Pi Marquee 2 with auto detect display, which is dual screen display, so you get like a header for an arcade console with extra information, which looks really smart. Retropie tweak found in the settings, letting the user go back to a more simple look. Front end selector found in settings, letting the user pick their boot up front end. PiKiss has been added, and also Pi Apps. So they're 2 great programs to be able to install extra games, applications and various things like that into the desktop interface, which I'll show in a minute. Smart ES apps with this feature will now hide or display a message letting you know why it won't load. Box86 is now pre-installed with its updater. Pro supported over just over 100 systems. Ultra is twice the amount of systems now. chroot 64-bit support more stable. Windows 10 desktop theme, which I'll show you in a minute. More emulation station themes are pre-installed, and this is one of the new ones. Supreme Online Toolkit now knows the build you're on, so no more mixed updates. The Sinden light gun is pre-installed, and there's no setup needed. All the broken scripts from Pro are now fixed in Ultra. There's a new Fix My Build layout. New Video Smooth script installed in settings to help fix screen tearing if found. Most updated Retropie of time of upload. All needed updates and upgrades done as of upload. New Mesa Vulkan drivers are installed. New N64 Vulcan core now installed. OpenBOR now loads games without a GUI. And Saturn 2D games run flawless and 3D games run better. So there's more in there as well. This was just the information that I was given, but let's have a look at it then. So you can see here, well, I'm using the Damaso build, which I used in my previous Supreme Ultra. This is a 750 gig hard disk with the 500 gig Damaso build on it. That's why there's loads of games in certain things you can see here. So PSP 46, 41 PSP minis, PlayStation 272. And I've run the scraper, and so you can see that it's picked up pretty much everything on there. So you can just flick through and see a bit of the video that's playing and see if you think you'll like it. So let's have a look at N64. Now, so N64 now has Vulkan support, but where is it? There are so many systems. There we go. So let's have a look at N64. So N64 now has Vulkan support, but only in the parallel emulator. And when you launch a game, it defaults to that anyway, but a lot of the games don't load with parallel. It's not as compatible as some of the others, but then you can just change one of the emulators. So if I was to show you Turok 3, so if I just flick down quickly to that, you can see it looks pretty good on that. The display, the controls are a bit weird, and I think they probably were in Turok anyway, because everything else seems to work all right with controls. But let's just click on that to launch it. And you can see here it puts the edges around so it keeps the proper shape of a 4x3 TV. And the performance of this was very impressive. So the controls, the right stick is forward and back. Then I've got, oh, that's weapon change. Ah, right, so that's fire, which is left trigger. It's like all the controls are reversed. And I can move up and down. Yeah, I definitely need to. The controls are all just almost reversed. But let's look around, let's run around and show you what it looks like. So from a point of view of how well it runs, it is very smooth and it looks really decent. But as I say, the controls are just crazy. It's not like they're unresponsive or anything. So right stick is forward and back and strafe left and right, and left stick is up and down and spin around. And I just can't get used to the controls. So I need to have a look at that. That's, in fact, can I get? So there's control options 2. Reverse up and down, no. What's it changing now when you do that? Ah, here we go. So style, normal right-handed, arcade right-handed, sniper on and off, move on the left stick, jump, zoom, crouch, weapon, look around. That might be alright. Oh no, I don't know what move is now. I can't actually move. Oh, so I've got the, right, I've got an Xbox 360 and it's the digital stick that is move. So let's just show you it moving. I'll have to play around with that and see if I can get that better, but this looks alright, doesn't it? Actually very impressive. So let's quit out of that and show you that Mario 64 works incredibly well and looks great. So Super Mario 64, if I launch that but press B straight away and keep pressing it, you get this menu and you can see that it's the default emulator for all the ROMs are LR parallel, but most of my ROMs don't launch with that. But if you wanted to change it, you could. So just click on it and then you can change it to, you can see there's loads of them there, 9 emulators. So let's hit cancel and I'm just going to launch this as is because I know this one works for parallel. And the performance with this just was excellent. All the menus move super fast and the game looks great. So it does look surprisingly crisp. And as you can see, so I think you'll agree the performance looks good. It really does look impressive. And the sound is good as well. No choppiness, no breaking up or anything like that. Right, so let's show you Sega Saturn because that's probably one of the bigger changes that's happened. And one thing I've noticed is that in options in this, I don't get... Oh no, I have on this case. So sometimes when I boot up with my... and I've got a physical hard drive for my games, the ES themes doesn't come up and some of the options are missing, but it looks like... No, because this also hasn't got the updater as well. So if I boot it without the USB drive, I get more options. And that goes the same for this as well. So you get Pixel for the desktop and various other options. But when I boot up with my USB drive in, some of the options are missing, which is strange. I mean, all I have to do, because I'm using a Retropie 4 case, is just reboot it without the drive, make the necessary changes, and then reboot it with the drive in. But this is something that happened for me with Supreme Pro as well. So some of the options are missing. Right, so let's go into Saturn. And I'll show you a little bit of the desktop after that. So it's the 2D games that tend to be supported better. Well, I'm guessing that. So let's try College Slam, a bit of basketball. And again, we've got this nice edge on it, so it makes it the right ratio, but also makes it look really nice. And if you want better 3D support, I've got Sega Rally running really quite well on an emulator on a desktop. And so I'll link to that video. Audio a bit choppy, a bit distorted, but not bad. Look at that video. Right, don't know any of the controls. Yeah, so I'd say from a speed point of view that probably runs alright. Don't know what buttons what. All I can do is fake, but I'm good at that. What would pass be? And we're in. I think we'll leave it there. So better, still not perfect that one, but better. Oh, this was good. Contra. And it's so nice when they put the artwork around the side as well. Okay, video not so good. Okay, so I keep forgetting it's the digital stick. But you can see this seems to be alright speed-wise. I think you can only go upwards, yeah. I'm guessing you just have to keep avoiding. So you can see, I think that probably runs at the right speed. Maybe it's a bit slow. If you're used to this game, you'll know, but it's certainly enjoyable. Okay, let's try something else. Let's try one of these shooter games. I know I'm not really into them, but I know a lot of people are. Again, we've got the artwork on the side there. Oh yeah, this looks alright speed-wise as well. That. I can press and hold the button. Yeah, so that looks pretty good. Maybe it should be a bit faster, but I don't know the game. Still playable though. So Daytona, no, not good on this. Anything 3D, so Final Fight Revenge, doesn't seem to work very well at all. That's another sort of shooting game. Oh, we'll try Gex, because that's also another 2D game. It's weird, but jump is left trigger. Find level remote controls to turn right. There you go. You can see this has some graphical glitches, but it's moving at a decent speed. I think I played this better on the 3DO version in one of my videos. A little less glitchy. Anyway, so let's quit out of that. Golden Axe, the Duel. So the intros are very slow, but once it gets into the game, it's mostly there, I think. Don't know what the... is that jump? Okay, so let's quit out of that and just flick through the rest of the games, because some of them are 2D, some of them are 3D, and as I said, the 3D ones, any one I tried really didn't run well, but anything 2D so far has been pretty good actually. Even the rugby worked alright, which I didn't think it was going to. I'll do that as my last game I show. Now I've never really played any rugby games online. I play a lot of football games, but this looked pretty decent. And in fact, all those videos at the start were playing a lot better and smoother, and the audio was better than many of the other games. Get all these stats about the team. So B to kick. And you can see this seems to run alright, really. The commentary's a bit slow. And I really don't know what I'm doing. Obviously I know I've got to take them down, but I don't know what I do if I get the ball. What I need to press to part. Oh, he's off. He's off. There you go. So a bit of rugby. Might be able to play around with that and see if you can get that to run better if that was a game that you used to play back in the day. Oh, he's off. It's confusing, I tell you. Come on. So if you press the button, you get near. Oh, it's a bit slow down there. Oh, go on, get him. He's got to try. Okay, so let's see what the kick looks like. He's missed. There you go. And the reason I'm showing Saturn is because Saturn really has been terrible in Retropie and the Raspberry Pi 4 in the past. It works all right on PC, but the Pi hasn't supported it very well. But there's a lot of really decent 2D games on the Saturn. So let's quit out of the desktop. So I press the start button and quit emulation station, and yes. So I can put my controller down now and use the keyboard. So if I type in start X, And here's the desktop. What's interesting is my screen capture device hasn't stopped capturing, which normally it would when it switches between games and desktop and various things like that. So I've got, if I go through the menus, so you can see what we've got in programming, internet, we've got Chromium Media Edition, which is great to see for Netflix and Disney Plus and things like that. VLC Media Player. Go to games, we've got Steam Link in there. System tools, we've got PiKiss. There you go. And under accessories, we've got Pi apps and Raspberry Pi diagnostics. So it's based on Raspberry Pi OS, I'm guessing. So it's got this Windows 10 theme, but not for everything. It's only for certain things that it shows up, because it pretty much switches back to the Raspberry Pi OS in most instances. So Pi apps comes up and automatically offers to update. Pi apps and PiKiss are brilliant, so they're really good to have already installed on there. Now I've overclocked this. I was running at 2 gigahertz, I think. Sudo nano boot config.txt, and if I scroll down, you can see. So I did ARM frequency of 2000, GPU frequency of 800 with an overvoltage of 6, because this is my 8 gig Pi. And I got, if I go back out and go back into terminal, I watched the Keo Deakin, he did like a live stream with a few other YouTubers and also someone who works with the Supreme team. And he said if you wanted to show that it's running the Vulkan, if you type in VK Cube, there you go. So that is a little sort of Vulkan demo just to show that it's in there. But it's early days and it's not fully supported, but it's nice to see that they're getting there and they keep testing it. If I do NeoFetch, which I installed on here, you can see it running at 2 gigahertz. And this has been up and running for 40 minutes. So great work. I'm really impressed with it. I can't wait for it to be fully released. And everybody keeps asking me when is it going to be out. And it has been a while since I first showcased Supreme Ultra. At least they are still working on it, and it will be out hopefully sometime in December. And it should be based on this. So it should be this build, but with better Vulkan support. Right, so I'm going to shut down and I'm going to restart with just the menu. So you get a few more things show up when you boot without the USB drive in here. So things like Pixel for the Pixel desktop, Chromium to launch Chromium browser. The Steam I don't think was on there as well, but also when you go into options you get different things on there. So in options, front end selector, fix my build, Supreme online tool. So all these things which are what makes Supreme a great build, all of these don't show up when I've got my drive in. As I say, it's not an issue, but it's something that maybe they need to know about, and if there's a way of getting that added back in. So, and I've had this for a while with Supreme builds, where if I boot up with a USB drive, which I generally always do when I'm using them, I don't get all of the options. Anyway, I hope all this helps. Thanks very much for watching. Please like and subscribe.